Okay, this is how we make our Eric Carle paper. First you get a piece of paper and you get to pick one of the colors that I have. I picked yellow, and I'll get some on your paper. That helps speed up the process. And your first step is going to be to spread out the paint to paint your whole paper that color. So you get to pick one color and you paint your whole paper that color. And to speed it up, like I said, I'm going to put the paint on your paper, and then you really just have to really spread it out. Here's a big clump. Okay, spread. Okay, I think I'm going to need a little bit more. So you say, Mrs. Dukes, I need a little bit more. I'll put a little bit more down for you. But you gotta really spread it out. And guess, guys, you are going to get paint a little bit on your fingers. That is okay. These brushes hold a whole lot. So when you have a little white space, see if you can't spread out the paint. Okay, so first step, pick a color that I have and paint the whole paper. Now look at how fast that took. That was really fast, took about a minute. Okay, spread it out. Now the next step is really fun. At least it's my favorite part. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put some texture on here. I'm gonna do something really cool. I don't know what. I've got these paints that you guys are going to be using, and you're going to put texture on your paper. So I'm gonna use this thing. And guys, I made a color here and I didn't have a chance to stir it, so I'm gonna stir it up. It's like a yellow-green, okay? I can put kind of like squares all over the paper. I have other tools that do other cool things. Let's see, I've got daughters, you know, so if in case I don't want to do this, oh, I could also do this way, and it's going to look a little bit different. And also, these are like little sponges, so they get quite a bit. That's a lot of paint, so let's see if I can get some of that. Okay. Now, you can do up to 2 colors on top of the color you painted. So I did 1. I can do 1 more color. So I have to think what color I would look good with this. I'm gonna go with blue. So I'm gonna use this daughter this time, and I'm gonna put some dots around. So overall, you're using 3 colors. I used yellow to paint the paper. I used green to make kind of squares, and I'm using blue to make polka dots. That's it. And those are the 3. Now I also have these really cool rollers. Let me show you what they look like. I've got all sorts of kinds. I've got this kind of roller. I've got tons of them, and I've also got sponge type rollers. I'm not sure which ones will work best, but after you finish that part, you can roll these out, and it puts a whole nother spin on your texture. Looks pretty cool, I think, if I do say so myself. You don't want to go overboard so that like it's completely messed up and looks like a giant blob. I probably did a little bit too much. Just because I want you guys to see what these other tools do. These ones that are more like sponges kind of pick up the paint, and these ones kind of, the one I just used just kind of spreads it out. But I would say that's done. That is 1 painted paper right there. It's gonna go on the drying rack, and then we're gonna clean up for the next person. We might have enough time for everybody to come around to the red table and get to do 2, but it really depends on how much time it takes. This paper is gonna go on the drying rack, and any second grader might use part of it to make the butterfly. We're making a whole collective pile of all second grade of these painted papers, and then you'll get to go through all of them to decide which kind of paper you want to use for your butterfly. But that is how we're gonna do it. So we paint the whole thing 1 color. You get to use up to 2 more colors. You can use some of my texture tools, and then that's it. And you're finished, and it goes on the drying rack.